Hi there, guten Tag. Today I will show you how to make German Kroketten. If you never had Kroketten, think about the marriage between creamy, buttery mashed potatoes and French fries. They look a little bit like tater tots, but they are so much better. They are a real treat, which is why they are a staple at Sunday lunches and celebration menus in Germany. Let me show you the ingredients you will need. You need 3 pounds of potatoes. I prefer to boil the unpeeled potatoes the day before I want to make Kroketten and leave them to cool overnight. If you want to make the Kroketten the same day, you need to prep the potatoes a bit differently, and you can find that procedure on my website. You can find the link to that post and, like always, the full printable recipe when you click on the More button beneath this video. Additionally, you need 3 large eggs. I have already separated the egg yolks from the egg whites, 3 tablespoons of melted butter, 4 to 6 tablespoons of potato starch. Alternatively, you can use cornstarch, but I really recommend potato starch. And if you can't find it in your local supermarket, you probably will find it in an Asian store. You need 2 teaspoons of coarse kosher salt, a 1/4 teaspoon of ground pepper, and a 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg. Freshly ground nutmeg is always better, but I did not have one on hand this time. And for the breading, you need 1½ cups of breadcrumbs, a 1/4 cup of flour, and 2 quarts of frying oil. Start by peeling the potatoes and press them through a potato press. Alternatively, you can mash them finely with a potato masher, or even with a fork. Then add the potato starch, the melted butter, salt, pepper, and nutmeg to the potatoes. Mix well, but be careful to don't overwork the mixture. Take a handful of dough and shape it into an about 1-inch diameter rope. If the dough is too sticky or doesn't allow you to shape a roll, just add a little bit more of potato starch to the dough. A little trick is to moisten your hands with water once in a while during the shaping process. Then cut the ropes into 2-inch long pieces and place the pieces into a lightly greased casserole pan. Alternatively, you can add the potato dough to a large piping bag and cut the tip of the piping bag so you can pipe about a 1-inch diameter rope. Instead of the little logs, you can also shape small balls, also about 1 inch in diameter, which is a little easier as the dough is soft, and it should be soft so you can have a really buttery soft center of the croquette. Then place the croquetten in the freezer for about 15 to 20 minutes. This will make breading so much easier. In the meantime, add the egg whites plus 1 whole egg to a deep plate. I did not have an extra egg, so I just stuck to the egg whites, but I would recommend using an extra whole egg, and then add the flour to another deep plate and the breadcrumbs to a 3rd deep plate. The Kroketten will be breaded like a schnitzel. Add the Krokette first into the flour, then into the egg mixture, and lastly into the breadcrumbs. The tried and true dry hand, wet hand technique, which I detail in this German schnitzel recipe, is your best bet. I will add the link to the German schnitzel recipe in the corner. After all the Kroketten have been breaded, return them to the freezer while heating the oil to around 350 degrees Fahrenheit. If you don't have a thermometer to test the temperature of the oil, you can use a wooden skewer or a cooking spoon to test the temperature. Stick the end of the skewer or spoon into the oil. If you can see small bubbles around the shaft, the oil is ready to fry your food. Use a slotted spoon to carefully lower the Kroketten into the hot oil and fry them until they are golden brown. Then remove them again with a slotted spoon and place them onto a plate lined with paper towels. Kroketten are a great side dish for all kinds of roast steaks and, of course, traditional German dishes like Sauerbraten and Jägerschnitzel. I hope you will give this recipe a try. Guten Appetit!